just draw a little X and a little Y right here above my C for CDs and P for payment, just so I'm clear on what variable represents X and what variable represents Y. And I've already put in the table for you the one combination that they've given us, which is that if he buys 3 CDs, he actually gets a payment charge of $25. Okay, so we want to kind of try to figure out where that came from. So we need to make sure that we understand the important information in the word problem. So let's go back up and let's take a look at that. So we know that each CD costs $5. And we also know that there's a shipping fee of $10, no matter what. And I think we should underline that too. No matter how many CDs he orders. Okay, so that's not going to change. That $10 is no matter what. So let's take a look at 3 CDs and how 3 CDs ended up costing $25. Okay, so we know that each CD costs $5. Okay, so if I buy 3 CDs, that's going to cost not $25, that's going to cost $15, right? Because 5 times $3 is 15. However, we have that $10 shipping fee right there that we have to add to the cost of the CD. And that's where our $25 comes from. Okay, so our job is to, within the table, come up with 4 other combinations. And knowing that we're going to have to write the rule, we are going to need the y-intercept to do that. So I kind of left a little bit of space for us to go through and find the combination that we need. Okay, so let's think about, I'm just going to kind of work backwards here. So let's think about if Alex ordered 2 CDs. Okay, what are 2 CDs going to cost? 2 CDs are going to cost $10 because they're $5 each. So 5 times 2 would give me $10, but I also have that $10 shipping fee. Okay, so the cost, total cost overall, the payment that Alex is going to have to make for 2 CDs is actually going to be $20. Okay. And then we can work backwards and find one. If he buys 1 CD at $5, that's going to cost $5 plus the $10 shipping fee, total payment of $15. And then if he doesn't buy any, there's still a $10 shipping fee. So $10. Now that doesn't necessarily make sense in the context of the problem, but it makes sense in the context of our data. Okay, we need one more combination. So I went ahead and filled in 4. So 4 CDs at $5 each are going to cost $20 plus the $10 shipping fee gives us $30. Okay. So we've got to write a rule from this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in my skeleton, knowing that I have to find the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so if I'm trying to find the slope, I'm trying to find the change in y, okay, which in this case is p, but you'll notice I wrote the y up top. So I want to know what's happening between all of these numbers. I'm going from 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 to 30. What's happening? I'm adding 5 between all of these numbers. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the change in x. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. What am I doing? I'm adding 1. Okay. So when I try to find my slope, and I gave you some workspace, change in y divided by change in x, 5 divided by 1, our slope is 5. Okay. Right, the only other thing that we need to find is we need to find our y-intercept. So we are looking for where x is 0, which is right here. And we want that y value because that y value is our y-intercept. Okay, so what is our y-intercept? Well, our b is 10. So I'm just going to fill in the skeleton equation here. Y equals 5x plus 10. Okay. The only thing that we need to go back and fix is our variables because we are told to use C and P. Okay, so if we look at my table, instead of Y, we were using P, and instead of X, we were using C. Okay, so all we need to do in that last step is just replace with the variables that they're asking us for. And this is important because you might have a multiple choice question where, you know, they're asking you to use the variables P and C instead of X and Y. And you need to be able to determine what is the correct arrangement of the equation from multiple choice. Okay, so we can always start with our skeleton and then change the variables at the end. All right. Next question. Use the rule you wrote to determine how much Alex will have to pay if he orders 11 CDs. Okay, well, let's talk about variables for a second. We know that P is for payment, and we know that C is for number of CDs. So if we're talking about 11 CDs, does that represent the variable P for payment, or does that represent the variable C for the number of CDs? Well, if we're talking about the number of CDs, we're talking about the variable C. Okay, so we are going to plug that in for C in our equation. Okay, so if we want to know, we could work the table all the way to 11, or we could just substitute 11 in. Okay, once we do the math there, we have 55 plus 10, so the payment would be 55 plus 10 is $65 for 11 CDs. Okay. All right, let's take a look at one more. Okay, we have Allison who has a $20 gift certificate to her favorite clothing store. She wants to buy herself several pairs of jeans, each of which costs $15. Find 5 more possibilities for the number of pairs of jeans bought, J, and how much Allison will have to pay after the gift certificate, P. Fill in the table below. Then write a rule for the situation. Okay, so what's important? We know that Allison has a $20 gift card. We know that each pair of jeans costs $15. And we know that the amount that Allison will have to pay is P. And we know that the number of pairs of jeans is J. Okay, so I'm going to look at my table and I'm going to just, for my purposes, I'm just going to put X and Y above my columns. Okay. You've also been given in the table a process that works. Okay, so we know that if she bought 2 jeans, her payment is going to be $10. So let's think about where that came from. So 2 pairs of jeans cost what? Okay, there's $15 each, right? So if we have 2 pairs of jeans, we're going to multiply them times 15, which means 2 pairs of jeans cost $30. Okay, but she has a $20 gift certificate. So if you buy something with a gift certificate, what happens with that amount of money? Does that get added to your total, or does that get taken away from the total that you owe? Okay, it actually gets taken away. So we're going to subtract $20 because that's what she has on a gift card. Okay, and if you look at that, 15 times 2 is 30. Take away the $20 gift card, that gives you $10. All right, we're going to go through and fill in the rest of the table. Okay, so let's take a look at 3 pairs of jeans. if each pair of jeans costs $15, then 3 pairs of jeans is going to cost $45. But we're going to take away the 20. And if we take away 20 from 45, we have $25 that she owes. If she were to go in and buy 4 pairs of jeans, that would cost $60. Oops, not 3, 4. 4 pairs of jeans would cost $60, but then she has a $20 gift certificate, so that $20 gets deducted from her total, leaving us with a $40 payment. Okay, let's go back to before 2, and we have 1 pair of jeans. So we have 1 pair of jeans that costs $15. Take away 20. 15 minus 20 is actually -5. Okay, so that payment being -5, it doesn't mean that she has -5. What it means is she still has $5 left on the gift card. Okay, and if she buys no jeans, 15 times 0 would be 0, take away 20 would be -20, and that would mean that she still has the full $20 on her gift card. Okay. All right, we have to write our rule, so I'm going to start with my skeleton. And I'm going to go through and find my slope. So I'm looking at what's happening for my change of y. So from -20 to -5 to 10 to 25 to 40. If I'm looking at what I'm adding, because those numbers are getting bigger, I'm actually adding $15. Okay, so my change in y is 15. Let's go look at my x's. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, just adding 1 all the way down. So my slope would be the 15 divided by 1, which is just 15. Okay, the other thing I need is my y-intercept. So I know that I'm going to need my y-intercept. So when you're doing your homework, knowing that you need to have your y-intercept, you want to make sure that you get that in your table. So you'll notice that in both examples that we did in notes, I made sure that I had where x was 0 in my table, so that I could not have to look for that number. Okay, so my y-intercept, my b, is -20. So I'm going to put my slope in the first box and my y-intercept in the second. Okay. The only thing that I need to do now that I have my skeleton is I need to go back and use the variables that they told me to use. So they didn't tell me to use x and y, they told me to use j and p. Okay, so I have to go back, and y is representing p, and j is representing x. We can do plus -20, or we can do -20, either way. Okay. All right. Now we're going to use the rule. Use the rule to determine how much Allison will have to pay if she buys 6 pairs of jeans. Okay, well, is J stands for number of jeans, and P stands for payment. So is 6 a value that goes in for J, or is 6 a value that goes in for P? It's J, because it's the number of jeans. Okay, so we're just going to take our rule, P equals 15. We're going to substitute 6, okay, in for 15. And then we're going to plug away.